one of the greatest comebacks in Super Bowl history and one of the greatest comebacks of all time in the NFL was the Patriots comeback against the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl a few years ago. And there's two things that were really, really important to them being able to make that comeback culturally. The first is the Patriots actually trained their halftime reviews. They practiced halftime. They did an additional practice for the Super Bowl halftime because it was a longer halftime. The second thing is the Patriots had a culture, a winning mindset. They had developed standards around how they were going to handle themselves, whether they were winning or losing, not just at halftime, but winning or losing a game. Too often, things are good in our teams and we don't have clarity around how we're going to handle adversity. We talk about how we want to be, right? But we don't have the hard conversation around, hey, how do we want to be when we lose? How do we want to be? What are our standards around how we lose? And so this is one of the most powerful activities you can do with your team to get clarity on this, is actually to share stories. One of my favorite stories is Martellus Bennett, the former Patriots tight end, telling the story of that halftime and how the team had that winning mindset. He didn't walk in that locker room at halftime and see a bunch of losers as they were down 28-3. Instead, he saw winners. So by sharing some stories and then getting your players to reflect on what are the qualities of a winning team, even when they're losing, even at halftime, after a game, and then set a standard for how you will handle losing, whether it's losing at halftime, losing at the end of a game, losing multiple games, going on a losing streak, right? But set a standard for how you want to be as a team, get clarity around that. This is sometimes an uncomfortable conversation, but everybody loses at some point. So get clarity on that with your team.